Hello and happy welcome to today's video on the new heroes of Season 8. They are finally there. These heroes are pretty important because, as we have experienced, Season 4 heroes are still very important. So we all want to find out if the Season 8 heroes will kind of replace Season 4 heroes, or how they gonna perform compared to the Season 7 heroes. So this is what you're gonna see today. I'm gonna compare every single hero with each other, and very importantly even, that you can see the different skills. So first of all, here you're gonna redeem them, right? So when we all have them, let's get started. We're gonna talk about Kufu. Kufu is super important. Here you can see the status, but let's first have a look how he is gonna perform against Neptunarch. Here you can see the strength already up there. So let's see. We can see that the cavalry from Neptunarch is already dead. They didn't survive a very long time, and you can see the numbers on the right side going down compared to the left side, right? So you definitely can see that the new heroes does a lot more damage in a single versus single. Here it is. Here you still can see it's very cool. You can see the red one and the white numbers that tell you the damage they're dealing, and you can see that now only the bow, you can see right on the bow, they were there. So the new one definitely has a huge impact on your troops and how long they're gonna last. Okay, so here you can see how many died, or how the hero skill on the left side, the hero skills was a lot more active than on the right side, as well as the troop attack kills. It is significantly higher, right? So, and also dead troops are minimal on the left side than on the right side. So the new hero does have, as far as these status shows us, a higher damage percentage than Season 7. So let's have a look at Kufu, okay? But I like to put it beside each other. Like this, we can see the difference a lot better. So Kufu's rage skill is in the solo. It inflicts a 600% damage to all enemies nearby and apply this aim effect for 6 seconds. Okay, if you look on the rage skill of Neptunarch, we can see that it's pretty much different. We have here the deal from 5 to 600% damage to all target and knock them down. Okay, so we gonna see how this rage skill will perform. So let's have a look at the troops. It deal 800% damage to all enemy troops around self and deducts their charge value by 20%. This skill is used immediately after the two sides engage in battle. So this means that it's right away active and that there's pretty much no delay of this skill. If we have a look on the right side from Neptunarch, it says that the deal from 7 to 900%. So this is the it's between 7 and 900% damage, and here we can see that the new one has 800%. So it doesn't get higher than 800, and the other one has the 900% maximum damage to all enemy units within the front area, and applied the water entanglement, right? So this means that it affects the other skill we also were gonna talk about. And they take 100 to 125% damage every 3 seconds. So this is also different than to the new infantry hero, and while also reducing the damage skills by 20 to 25% for 15 seconds. So here, this is gonna be super interesting when we gonna try this hero out, because you can see there's definitely a huge difference between Kufu and Neptunarch, which are both infantry heroes, okay? And as we all know, the cavalry heroes are the heroes in the front, or infantry also in the front, depending on which formation you have and how, the whole battle is going on. So super interesting, and we will find this definitely together out, and we're gonna have a look at a lot more further skills. So let's have a look at the next one. Of course, like and subscribe to my channel, because I know you're watching and you're gonna see a lot more fun videos. So let's continue with the first passive skill. Here from Kufu, we have the solo, and both, sorry for interrupting myself, both skills are level 1. So I was looking for a material that I can compare both heroes that have the level on 1. So let's have a look. So the increase your defense by 100% and reduce the damage taken from rage skills by 30%. So the rage skill was what we were talking about before, and this means that the rage skills from the other opponent hero will affect here, okay? So this skill will affect the other rage skill from the other heroes your opponent has, and so on. So let's have a look at Neptunarch's first passive skill. It says that it increase your defense by 100 to 125% and reduce the damage taken from normal attacks by 28 to 36%, okay? Super interesting to see that. Here we also see a huge difference. And if we go down to the troop section, we can see that Kufu increase the infantry defense of your troops by 60%. And if we look over there, Neptunarch says that it increases your unit's final defense by 40 to 55%. Okay, so this is pretty much different. And if we look back to the left side, it says increase infantry HP by 60%. And if we look on the right side, it says and reduce their damage taking by 20 to 25%. So we already can see, according to these numbers, that Kufu and Neptunarch will keep on having pretty important roles in our marches. I think that you can use Neptunarch or Kufu, depending on how they're going to perform in the upcoming weeks, in your second or third march. If they cannot, keep up with your first march, your strongest march. So you definitely have to figure it out yourself. You're going to test a lot, and we're going to see the awesome new Season 8 heroes. And this definitely helps a lot to compare it. I wish I would have, material of the Season 4 heroes as for level 1 skill, but I don't. So definitely have an eye on Season 4 heroes, also because we all know they are still very important up to today. So first we're gonna go to the next skill. So this is now the skill. Here we can see that the other passive skill, also both on the first level, from Kufu, is called the Darkness Descents. What does it do? Well, in solo, it's gonna do following. After using a rage skill, grant yourself reflect effect of 25% until the battle ends. Okay, so this is pretty much active the whole time. And Neptunarch's solo skill says, after normal attack, grant yourself a reflect effect of 1 to 2%, which can stack indefinitely, okay? So there's also a huge difference here. Let's go down to the troop section. On the left side, it says, after an enemy contingent performs a normal attack, the damage of their rage skill is reduced by 2%. Okay, so it's gonna reduce the active rage skill, stacking up to a maximum of 20 times. So this is gonna repeat 20 times, which is also super interesting. So, and what does it say on the right side? From Neptunarch, the troop section, says, each time your units release a skill, deal 400 to 525% damage to all enemy units. So here you already can see that these two archers have completely different skills, okay, and totally different targets. So we already can assume that we do need both of these heroes, and we can replace them with other heroes. We definitely gonna have a wonderful time to test it and to see how these archers gonna be, performing in Battle of Disorder, in Battle of Destiny, and which is also very important, how they're gonna be in the arena. So I'm sure that El Spectra is gonna do a video about the arena. He is doing such awesome good work about it. So definitely keep an eye on his channel so you can see the huge difference these heroes are gonna do in the arena in the upcoming weeks. So let's go to the next skill. So this is now the Awaken skill, and Kufu's Awaken skill says, in solo battle, your damage taken is reduced by 25%, okay? And if you look right on the right side, you can see that the same thing happens with Neptunarch, only that it's reduced by 20% instead of 25%. So the Awaken skill here on the new hero is already higher than the Season 7 hero. So let's go down to the next section. On the left side, it says, in battle, increase your rage skill damage by 50%. So this is doubling it, right? This is awesome. The effect is reduced by 10% with each skill cost cased up to a maximum reduction of 40%. So this really has an impact on further battles. If we look on the right side, in a troop, when more troops are battling with each other, it says, for the first 15 seconds after the battle starts, your damage dealt and damage taken are reduced by 15%. After the effect ends, damage dealt is increased by 15% until the battle ends. Okay, so this is there the whole time, and this is gonna be super interesting, right? We all wanna know what's gonna happen, and we definitely gonna find it out. So this was now everything that I could say about the new infantry heroes. And let's jump over to the next hero, which is also very important to mention and definitely to talk about. Now we're gonna continue with the new cavalry hero, Lubu, that everybody was looking forward to. In the whole Discord channel, so many players changed or added their name with Lubu, and this was a huge hype. So now it's finally time to talk about Lubu. Here we can see, compared to Dorothy, that the cavalry attack is higher than Dorothy's, and also the cavalry defense, okay? And this is gonna be pretty interesting to find out who's actually stronger and which hero we definitely need and focus on to upgrading, right? So let's go on to the first skill. In solo, Lubu has following. Deal 450% damage to the target and nearby enemy units and apply knockdown effect. And now if we gonna look over to Dorothy, it says in solo battle, deal 450 to 550% damage and apply stun effect to the target and nearby enemy units lasting for 3 seconds. This is pretty much a difference. And let's have a look in the troop section. It says deal 1.800% damage to the target contingent and apply suppression effect, which reduced the attack of enemy units by 30% and apply this aimed effect for 9 seconds. So this is actually a pretty important skill because your opponent will be disarmed for 9 seconds, and 9 seconds can be pretty long in a battle since without armor you're gonna die faster. Now let's compare it to Dorothy's. Reduce the charging speed of the target and all enemy units around it by 60 to 70%, lasting for 9 seconds, and deal 1.100 to 1.300% damage. So here we can see a significant difference, but both of their skill last for 9 seconds. So this is going to be really interesting in your strategy on what you want to achieve, and also what your opponent uses for kind of a hero combination. So this is really important that you keep that in mind, and that you're going to find it out what you have to do to use both of them skills accordingly to your hero setup and your opponent setup. And don't forget to always test your new heroes, and also to talk with your alliance members, your team members, your friends on Discord or wherever you're connected to. So the next skill, the second one, and it's the first passive skill, says in solo battle, your rage skill damage taken is reduced by 30%, and skill damage dealt is increased by 15%. And in solo Dorothy had following skill, your melee hero's damage taken is reduced by 18 to 22%, and skill damage dealt is increased by 18 to 22%. So we already can see that both of the heroes have completely different solo skills in the first passive skill. And this is also going to be super interesting. And in the troop battles, we have in Lubu, in the first 15 seconds after the battle begins, all enemy melee units will have their rage skill damage reduced by 30%. After using a skill, their charging speed of rage skill will be reduced by 20% for 9 seconds. So this is actually really, really important. And Dorothy performs in troop battles. 15 seconds after entering battle, our cavalry and archer units will have their damage taken reduced by 29 to 36%, and their damage dealt increased by, I can't read it. I think it says 15 to 18, but I'm not sure right now. However, so this is definitely a huge difference that we can see, and it's definitely gonna have an impact on further performances, right? And now we're gonna continue with the third skill, and we're gonna compare it. So in solo battle, Lubu's passive skill named Tiger's Body increases defense by 4% when taking damage until the end of the battle, up to 30 stacks. Okay, and how was Dorothy in solo? So after using a rage skill, steal 16 to 24% charge value from a single enemy target, and heal the caster for 16 to 24% HP. So this is definitely a difference here. And in troops, Lubu, in battle, the rage skill damage taken by your units is reduced by 45%. So this is huge, right? And the final defense of your units is increased by 80%. Do you hear that? 80%. So we don't really often have that. Dorothy says 15 seconds after entering the battle, the damage caused by all enemy troops is reduced by 32 to 38%. So you can see Dorothy says if you're battling like for 15 seconds and the troops are still alive and the hero is still alive, then that passive skill is gonna be active. And here on Lubu's skill, it's totally different. So I think this is gonna be super interesting that Lubu will perform pretty good here. And I think it's gonna be my new favorite Cavalier hero. That is definitely for sure. And you definitely also have to find it out. You're gonna see where you have to focus on, and many more videos we'll see. And you can see in following battle videos how Lubu will perform. So I will definitely cover this in the upcoming weeks and also months, because as you see, Kellerman is still important. I haven't included here any image of him, but believe me, if you're in season 1, season 2, or season 3, save some of your shards so you can upgrade in season 4 your Kellerman. He is so important because you need him up to today. He is so important, okay? Don't forget about him. Keep an eye on him. So I want to know how he's gonna be with the new season 8 heroes. Yes, I can see you're watching. Please click on subscribe, on like, and comment down below what you're thinking about the new heroes, because I want to know about it. And now we're gonna continue with the Awaken skill, both level 1, because you cannot upgrade these skills. So Lubu's Awaken skill in solo says that increase your normal attack damage by 30% and increase a dodge rate by 10%. While Doro in solo, in battle, increase your attack by 15% and dodge rate by 15%. So here we can see that the dodge rate of the new hero Lubu is 5% lower than Dorothy. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. But the attack damage is different, and the attack given from Dorothy is also different. So we're gonna see how it's gonna be, right? And in troops, it says from Lubu on the left side, in battle, increase the normal attack damage of your units by 200%. Okay, 200% more damage of your normal attack, all of your units. And on Dorothy, it was that for the first 15 seconds after the battle begins, all allied troops damage taken from normal attacks is reduced by 20%. So this is a good skill. After 15 seconds, the effect doubles until the battle ends. So it will be like 40% instead of 20% and such. So this skill is really important from Lubu because it does 200% more damage than Dorothy. Compared to her damage, it would be maximum 40%. But it's definitely super interesting to see how this Awaken skill is gonna be performing. However, let's have a look at the next, because we want to see a battle, right? Now we can see how Lubu and Dorothy will perform in the marches with the other season 7 heroes. So we see the same amount of troops, which is super important. And let's have a look. We can now see that the infantry heroes are already dead on the right side with Dorothy. And the cavalry is already dead too. So you can see that. And now, so you see that the new Lubu has a huge impact on the season 7 heroes if you combine him with the other heroes, with the infantry hero and with the archer hero. And here you can see, wow, I'm amazed by that, aren't you? So you definitely could see here that Lubu is very, very important, okay? That's probably why everybody was going mad on Discord with Lubu changing their name with it. So we can see here the numbers. So have a look at it. Super important, right? So let's continue with the new bow hero, okay? He is also, so many players were looking forward to him and want to know how he's gonna perform. So let's get into it. And first, we're gonna have a look at the video, and after that, we're gonna talk about the details. And this time we have more cavalry, you see, but it's smashed within a few seconds that Leona pretty much has a good effect. You can see that. Her archers were longer alive because the other one died, but still not as strong as the new hero. You can see it right here. Have a look at that. So it's a huge difference, right? What we're gonna look at next is the skill comparison, which is also very important. But let's first look at the battle report. We can see that, which was already said actually on the front, where we can see the difference, right? So it's really interesting. Cyrus II is the new archer hero, and here we can see the new numbers. It has also a higher attack and defense, of course, pretty much alike to the other heroes we were already talking about today. So we can see that these numbers say that they are stronger, but we're gonna dig into it a lot deeper. So we're gonna look at the very first skill, and again, every skill here is on level 1. So the first skill, the rage skill, says in solo, deal 3 consecutive instances of 200% damage to the target and surrounding enemies while silencing them for 6 seconds, okay? And Leona had deal 800 to 100% damage to the target while reducing its attack by 10 to 20% and defense by 20 to 35% for 6 seconds. So both of their new skills last for 6 seconds and deal 3 consecutive instances of damage to a single contingent, with each instance causing 300% damage. Additionally, reduce the damage of the turret's rage skill by 30% for 12%. And on the right side, we can see the difference in it. So Leona has over 1000% damage to a single target, which Cyrus doesn't have. Okay, so we definitely have to figure it out which archer hero is gonna be the chosen one, let's call it like that. And we will definitely see. Let's go to the very next second skill, both level 1 and the passive skill, of course. So in solo, Cyrus II has following. After each normal attack, gain resolute effects, reducing normal attack damage received by 4%, stacking up to a minimum of 8 times. So this can happen 8 times. And Leona's solo skill had for the first 10 seconds, so this is the difference. After the battle begins, all enemy units are routed for 2 to 3 seconds. So totally different, right? And if we look at the troops, Cyrus II has for the first 15 seconds. After the battle begins, reduce your damage taken from rage skills by 40%. After taking damage, reduce the damage taken from normal attack by 30% until the battle ends. Very interesting, right? Leona had, after your troops release the rage skill, deal 700 to 900% damage to enemy cavalry troops and archer troops, and reduce their charge value by 22 to 29%. So we definitely also have to see how these two passive skills are gonna perform in the different battles, right? So this is super interesting to see how different they two are, and I cannot have any assumption right now. I want you to try it out, and we're definitely gonna talk about it in the upcoming weeks. So let's jump definitely over to the third skill. Here we have after entering battle, the charge speed of all enemy units is reduced by 20%, lasting for 10 seconds. So this is a pretty long time. And Leona's second passive skill says that all friendly units gain a stack of magic resistance effect every 3 seconds. So this happens every 3 seconds, depending on how long the battle will be. Reducing skill damage received by 3% up to a maximum of 5 stocks. So this can happen like 5 times after another. And in troop battles, Cyrus II has during the first 15 seconds after the battle starts, the rage skill damage caused by enemy cavalry and archer troops is reduced by 40%. So this is definitely interesting. It's the same with Leona. Let's have a look. While in a battle, your units are immune to the disarmed effect. I think that is really important to have. And the damage of rage skills taken by them is reduced by 40%. Do you hear that? After a normal attack, they receive extra 4% charge value. So we can see that both of them are definitely important to have. Now, comparing the very last awakened skills we're going to talk about today, we will also see a huge difference. So in solo, Cyrus II has the effect that after the battle starts, all enemies receive 20% damage every 2 seconds. Can you imagine that? Every 2 seconds, they receive 20% damage during the whole battle. While Leona in solo fight has in a battle, all enemy targets lose 2% of their maximum HP every 1.5 seconds. So this is also very important because she's gonna pop here every 1.5 seconds, okay? And let's have a look at the troops. In battle, Cyrus II increases your rage skill charge by 100%. Do you hear that? Each rage skill cast reduces the bonus by 10% up to a maximum reduction of 40%. So this is the highest amount possible here. And Leona has in troop battles, the damage caused by enemy cavalry units is reduced by 25%. So her skill is going to be affecting cavalry, as we know. So super important and is so interesting. So what we're gonna do now is gonna have a look on the performance of the heroes. Okay, so let's look at the video. We have unlocked the last one, and here we can see the season 8 heroes versus the season 7 heroes. They are already strong. You can see that on the top. And the amount of troops is still the same. We have level 10 troops, so this is actually the G10. So let's start, and we're gonna see how it's gonna happen. You already can see the different skills that are taking place. Do you see that? This is what we were talking about the whole time. And you see the infantry is already dead, followed by the cavalry already dead under season 7 heroes. And the season 8 heroes, all of the troops are still alive. You can see that. And a huge impact, right? We're gonna find out a wonderful hero combination, how they're gonna perform and what we need. And here you also can see the numbers, right? So this season 7 heroes here had absolutely no chance against the season 8 heroes. So this just says that, for example, if your opponent has the season 7 heroes maximum leveled up to the maximum, and you have already the season 80 heroes maxed up, your opponent won't have any chance to win, because the season 80 heroes are just a lot stronger. And again, these numbers are made, if everything is maxed out, skill is maxed out, your hero level maxed out, and just everything maxed out. And I want you to also have a look at the video from Il Spectra. He's also doing a very, very cool video about his first impression on season 80 heroes. So I definitely want you to have a look at his video. I'm sure he's gonna upload it this week. And here you can see how cool the new heroes look like. They definitely have a totally different touch. How would you name them? Would you name him Cyrus? To me, he doesn't look like a Cyrus II. I would probably call him totally different. Comment down below and let me know your name suggestion, because it's so fun to hear that. I remember that one of my followers wrote down to Dorothy that he would have named her Jackie Sparrow, and this is so cool. Jackie Sparrow is such a cool name for Dorothy. And this is how Kufu looks like, really cool and magic, right? And here Lubu, everyone loves him. So definitely try the new heroes out, and like I mentioned before, subscribe to my channel and like it, and have a look at El Spectra's video, because it's gonna be very, very important too, to also hear his opinion of the new heroes, since he has a huge knowledge and knows so much about a hero combination. So listen to him also. So thank you very much for watching. So this is Dorothy, also known as Jackie Sparrow. Thank you so much for watching, and like and comment down below to my channel. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe to KatnFalls Gaming, because so many more videos will follow. Thank you again, and have fun playing. Attention, subscribe. I can see that you're not subscribing. Click on subscribe button. Thank you for watching KatnFalls Gaming.